I used to be a chronic procrastinator, always pushing things off until tomorrow, but then I discovered the power of atomic habits. Picture this. I was like a ship lost at sea, adrift and aimless. But a slight shift in course, a tiny change in habits, set me on a path to success. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It was gradual, almost invisible. But the impact, it was monumental. And that's the magic of atomic habits. These are the small, consistent actions that, over time, lead to significant results. This concept is brilliantly explained in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a treasure trove of insights, techniques, and strategies that can help anyone seeking personal growth. It's not just a book, it's a roadmap to a better you. And today I'll share the wisdom I've gleaned from this transformative book. The concept of atomic habits is all about the power of small, consistent actions. A compelling idea, isn't it? But what does it truly mean? Atomic habits, a term coined by author James Clear, are tiny behaviors that, when repeated consistently, compound into significant outcomes. These habits are like atoms, the smallest units of matter. Yet, when combined, they form everything in the universe. Similarly, atomic habits are the smallest actions that make up our daily routines, and while they might seem insignificant in isolation, their cumulative effect over time can be transformative. Consider this. If you decide to start flossing your teeth, instead of overwhelming yourself with the task of flossing all your teeth, you could start with just one tooth each night. This small action is easy to accomplish, reducing the resistance to starting a new habit. And once you're in the habit of flossing one tooth, it's not much more effort to floss the rest. Or take writing, for example. If you aspire to write a book but struggle to find the motivation, you could commit to writing just 100 words a day. It may not seem like much, but over the course of a year, you'd have written enough to fill a full-length novel. These examples highlight the concept of atomic habits perfectly. They are small enough to be manageable and not intimidating, encouraging consistency. And it's this consistency, not intensity, that leads to meaningful results. The beauty of atomic habits lies in their ability to leverage the power of time. Each tiny action is like a single snowflake, seemingly insignificant on its own. But let it snow consistently, and over time, you've got a snowball, then a snowman, and before you know it, a whole landscape transformed into a winter wonderland. So the next time you're aiming for a big goal or trying to instill a new habit, remember, start small, keep it consistent, and let time do its magic. As you can see, tiny habits can lead to big changes over time. Now, let's dive into the heart of the book. The 4 laws of behavior change. These laws form the backbone of habit formation and can be broken down into 4 steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. First up, we have the cue. This is the trigger that initiates the behavior. It's the smell of coffee brewing in the morning that tells your brain, hey, it's time to wake up. It's that notification on your phone that prompts you to check your messages. Cues are everywhere, and they signal our brains to start a habit. Next is craving. This isn't just about food, though a slice of double chocolate cake can certainly spark a craving. In the context of habits, a craving is the motivational force behind every habit. It's the feeling of wanting to check your phone when you hear the notification ping. It's the desire to feel awake that makes you want that cup of coffee. Without craving, the cue has no effect. Then we have the response, which is the actual habit you perform. This could be a thought or an action. Whether you respond depends on how motivated you are and how much friction is associated with the habit. If a habit is hard to do, you need a high level of motivation to do it. Conversely, if a habit is easy to do, you need less motivation. Finally, the reward. This is the end goal of every habit. Rewards can range from the satisfaction of knowing you've completed a workout to the burst of dopamine when you bite into that chocolate cake. Rewards close the loop and reinforce the habit, making you more likely to repeat the behavior in the future. And there you have it. The 4 laws of behavior change: cue, craving, response, reward. They are the building blocks of habits, the framework that our behaviors hang on. By understanding these laws, we can start to leverage them to create positive habits. Habit stacking and environment design are two powerful techniques Clear introduces. Now, picture this. You've probably heard of the phrase, killing two birds with one stone, right? Well, habit stacking is kind of like that. But here, we're nurturing two habits with one action. It's about taking an already established habit and attaching a new one to it. Imagine you have a habit of drinking a cup of coffee every morning. You want to start meditating, so you stack this new habit onto your existing one. Now, every morning after you drink your coffee, you meditate for 5 minutes. The coffee habit becomes the cue for your meditation habit. Over time, the two become so intertwined, you'll find it strange to have coffee without meditating afterward. But let's not stop there. Let's talk about the spaces we inhabit. Our environment, believe it or not, plays a crucial role in our habits. If you want to read more, keep your books in sight. If you want to eat healthier, keep fruits and vegetables within easy reach. You see, by manipulating our environment to serve our goals, we make the right habits more convenient and the wrong ones less appealing. Now you might be thinking, surely it can't be that easy. Well, let's hear some real-life examples. Consider the case of Anne, a busy executive who wanted to get in shape. She started by stacking her workout habit onto her morning coffee routine. Then, she redesigned her environment. She kept her workout gear visible and her unhealthy snacks hidden. Over time, these changes led to a healthier and more active lifestyle. Or take the case of John, a writer struggling with writer's block. He started by stacking his writing habit onto his breakfast routine. Then, he optimized his workspace, removing distractions and keeping his writing tools within easy reach. Over time, John found himself writing more consistently and productively. So you see, habit stacking and environment design aren't just theories. They're practical, proven strategies that can lead to lasting change. With the right environment and habit stacking, you're setting yourself up for success. But what about those pesky bad habits we all have, you may ask? Well, let's delve into that. Breaking bad habits is like untying a knot. It's a process. We need to understand the fabric of our behaviors to untangle them effectively. So, how do we do that? First, we need to identify the triggers. Triggers are the cues, the starting points of our habits. They could be anything from a specific time of day, a particular location, or even an emotional state. It's like the smell of coffee in the morning that makes us reach for the cup, or the chime of a notification that sends our hand darting towards the phone. Identifying these triggers is the first step towards understanding our bad habits. Now, once we've identified these triggers, the next step is to replace the bad habit with a healthier alternative. This is where the concept of substitution comes into play. Instead of trying to eliminate a habit, which can be a daunting task, we replace it. For instance, if you find yourself reaching for a sugary snack when you're stressed, try substituting it with a healthier option, like a piece of fruit or a walk around the block. This way, the trigger still leads to a habit, but it's a positive one. However, substitution alone isn't enough. We also need to shift our mindset. We need to move from a problem-focused mindset to a solution-focused one. Rather than dwelling on the bad habit, focus on the beneficial new habit you're cultivating. Celebrate the small wins, the successful substitutions. Remember, it's not about perfection, but progress. Keep in mind that change doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow process and there will be bumps along the way. But don't let that discourage you. Each step, no matter how small, is a step towards a better, healthier you. Breaking a bad habit is tough, but with these strategies, it's absolutely doable. So let's untie those knots, one thread at a time. So, what does all this mean for us? By understanding the power of atomic habits, we've uncovered a secret weapon for personal growth. Remember, it's not about making huge leaps, but taking small, consistent steps that add up over time. The 4 laws of behavior change. Cue, craving, response, reward form the backbone of every habit, and by manipulating these, we can shape our behaviors. Habit stacking and environment design can further support our journey, enabling us to seamlessly integrate new habits into our lives. And when it comes to breaking bad habits, identifying triggers and replacing them with healthier alternatives is key. Now here's a challenge for you. Identify one atomic habit you'd like to implement in your life. Something small, achievable. Begin today and watch how it transforms your life over time. Start small, start now. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if this video has